Okay, gentlemen, let's have a little chat about testosterone. So my last video about TRT was my 3-month update, and that was almost a year ago at this point. And since then, a lot of you have asked for a new update. So I wanted to sit down with you guys today and show you some of my current blood work and talk about how I'm doing and how I'm feeling after a little over a year being on testosterone replacement therapy. Now, first and foremost, I'm not a doctor, so let's make that clear. But there are a lot of very interesting conversations about TRT for men that I don't quite understand. And we'll get into some of that here, but I do hear from a lot of you guys that tell me that you went and had your blood work done and you were right around the 300 range with your total testosterone, but your doctor wouldn't prescribe it because you were technically within range. So the range that I have for me, somebody my age, which is mid-50s, is somewhere between 280 to 1100. So yeah, technically 300 would be within range, but come on, man, it's not by much. And it's common knowledge that men feel better and have more energy if they're somewhere closer to the middle of that range, like 700 to 800, for example. So unless I'm missing something, why won't most doctors prescribe testosterone replacement for these guys? I even had this one guy send me a message saying that his doctor wanted to put him on antidepressants instead of testosterone when his levels were, I think they were around 320, which was right at the very bottom of that range. And if I remember, also, he even told his doctor he didn't want to take antidepressants and he would be more interested in trying TRT. But his doctor said no. So again, unless I'm missing something, I just don't get it. Now here's something else. I don't know why there seems to be this stigma attached to men having hormone replacement when they get older, when it seems to be open conversation and completely acceptable for women to have hormone replacement when they get older. Honestly, I have never fully understood the double standard because we both benefit from it. And of course, there's always going to be people that are just completely against taking any type of medication or supplement that isn't natural. And that's fine, but there's no such thing as natural hormone replacement. It's all bioidentical hormone. Your body produces what it produces, right? And you can only boost testosterone so much with diet, exercise, and over-the-counter supplements. And again, though, we're only talking about a few small points here, so it's not even going to be enough to move the needle, especially if you're, say, late 40s, 50s, or 60s. And I'm going to show you my results, but I guess I just want to go on record right now and say that if you're against taking TRT because it's against your belief system, that's totally fine. But for the rest of us that are interested in feeling and performing our best, I just kind of think it's something that we should consider because at least for me, it's been a game changer. All right, let me run through some of the highlights of my most recent blood work from just about 2 weeks ago. And spoiler alert, it's pretty darn solid. So I'll just hit some of the parts that were just a little bit out of range. All right, first is my hemoglobin and my hematocrit. I think that's how you pronounce it. The good range for hemoglobin, the range is between 13.2 and 18.0. I was at 18.6. My hematocrit range is between 43.0 and 60.0. I was at 60.0, just a little bit high in both. The solution for this is to basically just go donate blood every couple of months. Now, I don't know all the science behind that, but I guess the way I like to look at it is essentially having my oil changed every few months. But also, look, donating blood is also a nice thing to go do. But something else we found that was quite high was my DHEA. So that range is supposed to be from 34.5 up to 568.9. Now my level was high, 1480.1. And that one's pretty interesting because when I went in for my last blood panel about 6 months ago, I was practically at 0. So he wanted to get me on daily DHEA supplements. So since my last blood panel, I went on that supplement and I was taking about 100 milligrams every day. And clearly that was just a bit too much. So now I'm cutting that dose in half to basically see where I end up in another 6 months. Another reason though that I think that number might be high is because the morning of my blood work 2 weeks ago, I took that supplement that morning. So I don't know if that affected the results, but either way, I'm gonna reduce that dosage by half. Now, a couple other factors in some other areas. My coronary risk is very good. My vitamin D level is very good as well. and my PSA markers are very low. The PSA scale goes from 0 to 4.0. I was at 0.740. My estradiol level was very good, so I don't need to be on any type of estrogen blocker. Now, the numbers that you probably all came for, that you're waiting for, are my total testosterone and my free testosterone. My total testosterone scale, like I mentioned earlier, is between 280 to 1100. I'm at 815. It's basically the same number I was at 6 months ago. Now also keep in mind that I inject testosterone every Thursday, and this blood test was done on the Wednesday before my injection. So basically this was, I guess, at the end of my cycle on day 6. I don't know how it would have looked if it was on like day 3 or day 4, but either way, that just kind of gives you an idea of where my levels are right now. Okay, so let's look at free testosterone. That scale is from 3.9 to 22.5, and my number was 25.5. Just a little high, but otherwise pretty good. And here's something else that I see a lot in the comments whenever I talk about testosterone at all. Some people will say things like, once you start on TRT, you have to be on it for the rest of your life, or you can never get off of it because your levels will drop off again. Here's the thing I want you all to realize. You get on testosterone because your balls don't produce enough of it anyway. So if you're sitting there at 250 total test right now, and that's your baseline, that is a very low number and is basically non-existent. So if you take testosterone to get your numbers back up, you can absolutely get off of it anytime you want. You'll just return back to your baseline, which is again, basically non-existent because your body doesn't produce it anyway. Think of it in the same way as maintaining a healthy diet to stay fit. If you stop eating a healthy diet and go back to your old ways of eating cheeseburgers and pizza every day, you'll gain weight again. So in my mind, there's virtually no difference. So I just don't understand that argument. Okay, now let's talk about my personal experience. I inject myself in my glutes every single week. And yes, it sucks every single time, but you just do it anyway, right? It's like 1.5 seconds of ouch, and then it's totally fine. Anybody can do this. But yeah, it still sucks every time. But also consider, it doesn't suck any less having somebody else do it for you every week. You can totally do this yourself. Another thing to realize here is that it's not like taking heroin or cocaine or something, right? You don't just take it and then all of a sudden feel like you can walk through a brick wall. And you don't change from Clark Kent to Superman overnight. It doesn't work that way. It's basically a nice, easy, slow burn over time once it sort of gets in your system and starts to regulate. Your sleep gets better. Your energy level goes up. Your focus increases. And if you're in the gym, you will see muscle growth that you haven't probably seen since you were in your 20s and 30s. But not only that, it's just having the energy to get off the couch and go to the gym or go for that walk or go do anything. That is the part that will change your life, because now you feel like actually going to do something rather than just sitting on the couch all day. Now here's something else that I want to make very clear. This is not steroids, right? I'm not losing my hair. My balls aren't shriveling up and disappearing. I don't have acne all over my back. My man boobs aren't getting any bigger. I don't have an increased risk of cancer, and my prostate still looks very good, like I just showed you. So a lot of the things that many guys seem to be scared of are basically non-existent for me and also most men. And I think that's the one thing that I hope you'll take away from my experience. I'm not pushing this down your throat, and I'm not trying to sell you on TRT. I'm just sharing my experience. But with that said, I'm also advocating for you to be as healthy and as energetic as possible. So if this is something that you're interested in and you've been running into roadblocks with your doctor, chances are there's a hormone clinic in your area, or at least close by you, that you can contact and go get your blood panel done and just find some options that might work for you. And just one more thing, please consider subscribing for more men's lifestyle content. And thank you very much for watching. Live well, and I will see you all in the next one.